What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Paulo Costa sends a warning to Khamzat Chimaev. While Paulo Costa's focus is on beating Roman Kopylov this weekend, the veteran middleweight has his eyes set on a fight with Khamzat Chimaev, which he says has been a long time coming. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. During Thursday's press conference, Costa took aim at the #1 contender.
Yes, you guys know about that already. Everybody knows about that. We have a, mutual hate. After this fight, I'm gonna send a message for him, but until there, you need to wait to watch. And because my focus right now is on this guy, so I need to focus on him. But of course, I have a plan after that. And I have unfinished business with Gourmet Chechen, Chimaev. And yes, I'm gonna face him sooner or later.
While Costa's comments about Chimaev caught the attention of fans, plenty of others noted that the former title challenger appeared to be visibly shaking while on stage. Khamzat went on X and reacted to the clip by saying, "Bro, what's going on with you? Don't start to cry, please." And even Gilbert Burns was confused about the whole situation because he wrote, "What happened to Costa?" After widespread speculation regarding his movements, Costa addressed the situation online in a post that's since been deleted, where he made reference to a secret powder. Given the bad blood between the two, if Costa gets the win tomorrow, don't be surprised if he calls Chimaev out during his post-fight Octagon interview. This morning, both Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway made weight for their fight. Dustin weighed in at 156 and Max Holloway came in at 155.
It's good, bro. Actually, man, it's crazy. You figure this thing out at the end. This was the easiest weight cut. I could have been 52 out here easily. Yes, I could have kept cutting weight. Man, I was feeling good. I came into fight week the lightest I've ever shown up on Tuesday, so it made this whole week a lot smoother, a lot easier.
So you could have went back to featherweight for your last one if you wanted to.
I probably could have. Yeah.
So with the UFC 318 main event being official, who do you see winning this fight? As for Islam Makhachev, he said the following in a recent interview about the UFC 318 main event. "Poirier is 1000% my guy. We are messaging a lot. This is his last fight, so he will be at his peak shape, so I think he wins. Everyone knows Poirier has good boxing. He already outboxed him. Don't let Holloway dictate the pace. Holloway is one of the best once he finds his distance. He likes to take one shot, close the distance, and throw his own shots. That's why you can't let him play his own plan. They're both hard to finish. Neither are one-punch KO artists. They're technicians. They need to outplay each other." Dustin Poirier teases huge moment at UFC 318. Although Dustin Poirier isn't sure how he's going to get the win on Saturday night against Max Holloway, the Diamond has gone on record as saying that he's going to find a way to win, and he's going into the fight fully expecting to leave the octagon in need of stitches. During Thursday's press conference, Poirier teased fans with a huge head-on collision type moment, indicating that although he always plans on fighting a technical bout, he has a natural ability to get himself into exciting fights.
Bro, I try not to. I just have a natural ability to get myself in those kind of fights every time. I'm not trying to jab and circle and win rounds. I'm trying to scrap and finish these guys. And Max isn't afraid of the fire. We've shown that before. We watched his career. We watched him become champion. We watched him put down the legends of the sport. So you have two guys like that, it's going to be a head-on collision. We're going to be crash test dummies in there, baby.
Holloway agreed, indicating fans are in for an exciting fight on Saturday night. While the former featherweight kingpin is used to being the fan favorite, he's eager to play spoiler in Poirier's big farewell fight. Aaron Pico breaks silence on canceled UFC fight. This week, unfortunate news emerged indicating that Movsar Evloev was out of his scheduled fight against Aaron Pico in Abu Dhabi. After whispers that the UFC may be looking to rebook the fight between the two for the UFC 319 card in Chicago, Pico has now officially challenged the streaking contender to a fight on 319 via Instagram. Not going to sugarcoat it, I'm pretty disappointed you pulled out of this one. I get that things happen, and I truly hope whatever's going on, you recover quickly. That said, my camps aren't cheap, and I'm ready to get in there and put on a show sooner rather than later. I understand there's an opening for us on August 16th in Chicago. We don't get promotions for calling in sick. I'll see you in Chicago. So far, the UFC 319 card appears to be in need of a co-main event bout. While there had been rumors that a fight between Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje would be the co-main, Pimblett quickly shut them down. If Evloev's injury isn't too bad, perhaps we will see the two throw down in August. UFC updates. Heading into this weekend's UFC 318 card, let's take a look at some UFC updates that may have flown under your radar, starting with Alex Perez's withdrawal from the UFC Vegas 109 card. The news was first broken by Garrett Kerman, then confirmed by MMA Junkie, with indications being that the UFC will try to find Steve Erceg a new opponent. In the meantime, Charles Johnson threw his name into the hat despite a fight Lawner Kavanaugh set for August 23rd. Always open, but I'm booked for Shanghai at the moment. Next up, we got a new addition to the UFC Perth card, with Luana Carolina set to fight Michelle Montague down under. Carolina will be looking to build on a 3-fight winning streak that most recently saw her defeat Lucy Pudilova, while on the flip side, Montague will be looking to pick up a win in her UFC debut after starting her professional career 5-0. And last but not least, following a report earlier in the week about a fight between Alexander Volkov and Jailton Almeida being in the works, the fight has been officially booked for UFC 321. Following the announcement, Almeida reacted to the news via social media. Just signed the contract. UFC 321 Abu Dhabi, October 25. Title eliminator for the UFC Heavyweight Championship of the World. Jailton Almeida versus Alexander Volkov. Bryce Mitchell sends a warning to Merab. While a fight between Merab Dvalishvili and Corey Sandhagen is expected to be next up at 135, Bryce Mitchell has put the champ on notice ahead of his bantamweight debut. During an interview with MMA Junkie ahead of his fight with Said Nurmagomedov later this month in Abu Dhabi, Mitchell explained that he thinks he's exactly what the bantamweight division needs right now. I think it needs to be spiced up a little bit. It just needs somebody like me in there to shake things up, and I can almost promise you I'm going to shake things up. They need something exciting right now because let's be honest, nobody's going to beat Merab. Who's going to beat Merab? You're going to have to call somebody that can beat him because right now, literally nobody can beat Merab. So they're going to realize that they need a guy like me. Here I am, call me. The way Mitchell sees things, Dvalishvili's going to steamroll Corey Sandhagen when the two fight. However, so far there's been no word as to when a fight between the two might take place. Dana White receives major backlash. Over the years, Dana White has made it clear that he's no fan of MMA media. The way Brendan Schaub sees things, White and the UFC have gone too far. Last week, White appeared on the Nelk Boys podcast to discuss a wide range of topics, from Jon Jones's return to the 2026 card at the White House. As Schaub theorized, White's decision to ostracize media members like Ariel Helwani while giving interviews and news to creators like the Nelk Boys and the Bussin' with the Boys crew has gone too far. During a recent episode of The Schaub Show, the former heavyweight explained that there's room for White to talk to respected reporters like Ariel Helwani and Luke Thomas, while also appearing on the Nelk Boys podcast. By choosing to go scorched earth on traditional outlets and prioritizing money, Schaub thinks the UFC is dying in America, as reflected in the US having no current active champions following Jon Jones's retirement.
Then you have the Nelk Boys, they can't name 5 UFC fighters. And we get this. And this is where they're breaking news and breaking down fights. My issue is you can do the Nelk Boys, but you can also do actual journalists that are gonna hold your feet to the fire. I know people are like, what, dude, he's getting views. I know. Or insert this influencer getting views talking about Jon Jones McGregor. I get all that. But there has to be both. And when I see Dana only giving this attention, in my mind, I go, we're And when you're going on these cupcake shows, they're going, dude, is Jon Jones fighting at the White House? Is Conor McGregor, dude, if he comes back, dude, Conor Topuria, are we gonna see that? Bro, is Ronda coming back? You're just like, well, me in the This is what the hard-hitting questions, we can have both. Do this, and then go on Ariel. Do this, and then talk to Luke Thomas. Do this, and then talk to Chuck and Pizzi. You can do both. Even rankings really don't matter. None of it really, it's becoming a gimmick. It's becoming the WWE. But in order to get the roots of the sport, of actual mixed martial arts, it's mixed martial arts. It's not mixed martial entertainment. You have got to address this side of the fan base who actually give a flying about the sport.
From the sounds of things, plenty of others agree, including veteran reporter Peter Carroll, who is one of the respected media members that Schaub name-dropped on his show. I'm truly honored. We've come a long way, Brendan and I. You'd have to say fair play. Another added, it pains me that I have to agree with anything Brendan Schaub says, but UFC journalism and marketing is trash. Nina drama, John Morgan, and interviews with the Nelk Boys only hurts the UFC. Get Ariel Helwani, an MMA guru, at the press conferences. Let them do on-site reporting at events and interview the fighters, and you'll triple the amount of growth for the UFC. Plenty of others agreed. He's spot on. UFC had a time where unranked fighters were still names. Then the card oversaturation began, and these days people can't barely name the champions. Nobody is a draw. You can miss shows with ease because nobody you connect with is fighting. Press conferences and interviews are full of fluff. It's very WWE, where their own press conferences consist of hand-picked questions, so they never asked anything remotely challenging or called out on issues/lies. As one fan wrote, he's right, the sport is dying, to the core fans. It's becoming overly popular and more viewable to the average Joe's mind and eyes, so it makes sense they're branching out to influencer interviews, stuff that no real fan cares about. The real core ones have to either adapt or branch out to other organizations where MMA is still the #1 priority. Others think that Dana has checked out. Dana has no stake in the UFC brand anymore, so he doesn't care. The UFC needs a new face. A promoter who actually promotes would be a start. Make fights we want to see, not Yair Volk 2. Judging is awful right now and promotes people to grapple without advancing position or hunting submissions. That's because Uncle Dana has tapped out of the UFC with his own slap competition BS. That's why we're seeing the UFC look like WWE. Dana White no longer involved. Despite the criticism, White has made it clear that his focus is on making the UFC White House card one of the best of all time. We have a favor to ask. Help us reach 200,000 subscribers on MMA Zone by subscribing and turning on notifications for daily MMA content. Seriously, we rarely miss a day.